Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to do a little quick update also of some stuff I've picked up in the past 2 weeks. Not a whole lot of stuff, but I was focusing more on quality. There's two or three blind buys in here that actually ended up being pretty good, but I'll start it off with this Amazon exclusive, I think, which is the Are You Afraid of the Dark show from Nickelodeon back in the 90s. And man, this was my childhood right there. If you want, this is pure nostalgia for me. I love Goosebumps, but Are You Afraid of the Dark was where it's at to me. And man, I love this show with a passion. And one of my biggest fears with this thing was that it was going to be because the Goosebumps don't really hold up for me. They're almost too cheesy, and I know that's what you expect, but I don't know. It just didn't hold up for me. But this show, I mean, I put these in and I still had a blast with them. There's a bunch of them, brought me right back to 93, 94, whenever these things were out. And yeah, 93. But yeah, there's so many good episodes. And the episodes that aren't so good, they're better than the best Goosebumps episodes to me. But these are burn on demand uh, releases, and I know the actual legit releases go for a lot of money last time I checked, but I mean, these are about as legit as you can get for as far as America goes. I mean, here's one. Season 4, so they come actually shrink wrapped from Amazon and all that, and actual printed discs. And but those covers, these are how all the covers look, just different colors, different fonts, and I can't stand these covers. I wish they would have went with something a little different, but for 15 bucks a piece per season, I mean, what do you expect? I'm just glad to have them all. They haven't released season 6 or 7 yet, and I do really want to get them when they do release them, if they ever do, but for now, I'm glad to have the original run in its entirety, so that's really cool. And next thing I picked up was the TV Terrors collection from Scream Factory, and I love this release. It kind of makes me sad that they never made any more because I would have really loved to see more of these. Because there's so many good made-for-TV movies from the 70s and 80s that I would have loved to see. There was one my mom used to talk about back in the 80s, and all she used to say was "Soon, Amy, soon, soon, Amy, soon," and I can't. She didn't remember the title, but I think it was like "Watch Your Step" or something like that. But it was she kept saying "Soon, Amy, soon." I was hoping when this got released that they would have released more so we could have actually saw that movie. But yeah, unfortunately, from what I hear, this thing didn't sell well at all. But yeah, I would have really loved to see more of these. Anyways, what's next? Picked up In the Mouth of Madness at Best Buy, one of the only John Carpenter movies I actually hadn't seen up to this point. And this movie is sick. Like, me and my grandma actually sat down and watched this, and I wasn't expecting as big of a H.P. Lovecraft. Like, this almost, I don't know if H.P. Lovecraft, if this is based on anything H.P. Lovecraft, but this is like just screams that whole vibe. Sam Neill in this is awesome. Just the whole story is weird. It's really mind bending. It's one of those ones you have to think about at the end, and this is just entertaining all the way through. And there's actually like genuinely freaky moments in this, like this old woman riding a bike down this deserted highway while they're broken down, and I definitely recommend this. And what's weird, I haven't seen this cheaper than 15, 16 bucks, which is odd for a Warner Brothers standalone release like this of a back catalog title, but definitely pick this up. This is one of my top 3 favorite John Carpenter movies of all time now, so yeah. This next one is a Code Red release. I don't collect a lot of Code Red stuff just because the prices they ask for these are insane. Like, I think I paid like $25 for this, and what sold me alone was this cover. This cover to me was, I don't know, this is a freaky cover to me. I decided to pay the $25 for it, and I gotta say, I kind of regret that because it's not that good. The surprise at the end was kind of shocking, but definitely, if this was 15, $20, probably, but $25, no. So, and like I said, I'm leery to buy Code Red stuff just because I've heard a lot of terrible stories about it and everything, but I'm still glad to have this in my collection because it's one of those things where I would have regretted never picking it up because that stuff goes out of print quick, but yeah. And here, Takashi Miike, my favorite director of all time, and I had to pick this up. Fudo: The Next Generation. Just, I love his Yakuza movies, and this, I saw the trailer of this, and this thing just looks amazing. I'm gonna be shocked if I don't like this. There are some Takashi Miike films that I don't like, but I mean he has over 100 films, so that's gonna happen. But I'm hoping this is one of my favorites, just because the trailer of this looks amazing. So yeah, I'm really excited to check this one out. I haven't watched it yet, but it'll definitely be watched in the next few days, and a review will be up for it for sure. Next one is Dark Waters, or Dark Water from Arrow, and this is, I don't know if this is Korean or what this is. No, J-Or, alright. But yeah, this is from the author, based on a story from the author of The Ring, and you could definitely see similarities and all that, and I had picked this up. I was expecting something like really chilling, like really freaky, and usually the Asian horror usually delivers in that. Like if I want to get scared bad, Asian horror is the way to go for me. And this thing, I just didn't dig it too much. It wasn't creepy at all to me, and parts that people were saying were, oh, it's gonna freak you out, just didn't do nothing. And this is one of the most disappointing Arrow releases I've ever seen. It doesn't, the transfer of this thing is terrible. And I understand a lot of Asian movies, the prints aren't in good condition to begin with on most of them because they use, cheap film stock and all that, and ultra grainy, washed out. But I mean, this to me is kind of unacceptable as far as Arrow goes, and I'm hoping their upcoming release of Pulse does better because I'll buy anything Asian horror, especially if Arrow releases it. And I'm really hoping they do better than this. And one more thing about this release is the artist who did the newly commissioned artwork, I think is awful. Like, I'll have to show it to you, even though I'm sure you guys have seen it, but I don't know. Something about that I'm not a fan of. I like the OG artwork on that one, but we'll see how Pulse goes, because I am excited to see it. Pulse, the original one, is actually a freaky movie to me, so I'm just hoping that transfers good. Then another one is Atros by Unearthed Films, and I heard about this from D. Borgia 86 and Bloodbath and Beyond as part of their Ultra Extreme line, and I'm usually a huge fan of Unearthed Films, and with a release like that, it's a 3-disc special edition. I mean, soundtrack, everything, they really went all out for this. And Unearthed's other 3-disc special editions like Flowers and the American Guinea Pig series and Francesca, I've usually been really impressed with them, but this didn't. It was all right. I mean, it was disturbing. There was some stuff that shocked me. This says the most graphic and goriest film made in Mexico. I believe that because this movie is really intense, really gory, but they start with the shock value so soon that it's just I don't know how long this is. Yeah, about an hour and a half, but it's an hour and a half of just relentless, extremism, but it loses its effect after about halfway through, and I don't know. But this did add more because it actually did have a story and ending, kind of, not just torture, but yeah, I would recommend picking this up if you could find it for about 20 bucks. That's about what I got it for from Grindhouse Video in Tampa, about 20 bucks. So I'm glad to have it. I mean, I collect unearthed films, so that's cool. And then another one from Scorpion Releasing called The Carpenter. And I picked this up because I just like I'm a big fan of cheesy 90s horror. And this thing had Wings Hauser from Tales from the Hood. And this was made in 1987. And I heard this was supposed to be like a slasher. And I was expecting Wings Hauser to just be a crazy carpenter, killing people. But this is more of like a psychological thriller almost. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. But it was pretty good. It wasn't what I expected, but I was pleasantly surprised. So it's one of those things where when I watch it again, I'll know what to expect and I'll appreciate it more, I'm sure. But yeah, this is actually a cool release. Never heard of it, just saw it on a shelf and it looked cool. And I said it was 90s, but it was actually 87. So, but still, this thing is cool. That's part of that Katarina's Nightmare Theater or something. Some wrestler that's like an Elvira type thing. And this is the only release I got from that, but it's pretty cool. And then this one here was a Walmart exclusive called The Autopsy of Jane Doe. And I guess they have exclusive rights to selling it until a certain day. And honestly, this is one of those movies like The Babadook and what's another one? I don't know, but these movies that get overhyped every year, this is one of these kind of movies that makes me hate social media and all that because you hear so much praise for it and you're expecting something mind-blowing, something amazing. And why this movie it's really good. It was actually original. It had some kind of creepy parts, but my expectations were way too high for this thing. So all I see when I look at this is disappointment now, just because you even have Stephen King on the cover saying, "Visceral horror to rival Alien and early Cronenberg. Watch it, but not alone." I mean, with a quote like that from Stephen King, I mean, yeah. But I didn't like Troll Hunter either, which was this director's first movie, so I gotta say, when this guy releases another movie, I know a lot of people are gonna be real quick to check it out, but it's not on the top of my list, this director, anymore. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of disappointing. But $10 at Walmart can't go wrong, by the way. And this is one of the crown jewels of my collection now. Because one of top 5 favorite movies, one of them has got to be Hellraiser 3. And I know that's blasphemy to a lot of people, but I love Hellraiser 1, I love Hellraiser 2, but Hellraiser 3, it stopped caring about the seriousness of it, which I like. It was more fun. It was more. I don't really know how to explain it really well right now. I'd have to think about it more for a while, but it was just perfect example is the scene where he's standing in the church in front of the stained glass with the spikes in his hands and it's just stuff like that. Just the visuals of it. I mean, the nightclub with the 80s thrash band, and then all of a sudden CDs flying out and cutting people's heads in half, and that's a fun time to me. I mean, so I obviously had to pick up the Hellraiser Scarlet box from Arrow, and I had it signed by Doug Bradley, just because you got to get it signed by Doug Bradley. I mean, he's one of the greats. He's getting older. You don't know how much longer a lot of these people are going to last. Wes Craven, all them passing away. Robert Englund has turned 70-something just a few days ago. So you don't know how long these people are going to live now. So it's getting to the point where I'm trying to get autographs from as many, people that I really do look up to. So this is definitely one of my crown jewels in my collection. So, and the last thing was something that I've been trying to get my hands on for a while, and I'm kind of leery to check it out, but it's that theater of horror, that Hideshi Hino, or I guess it's some horror manga artist, and these are, from what I understand, real low budget, made for TV kind of interpretations of his stories. But I mean, I love the box, that cover. Got it used on Amazon, had them sent to me. Had that real annoying sticker, but it is what it is. I mean, I got it for like 15 bucks, and I'm interested to check it out, but I'm nervous too for some reason because I've heard so many bad things. But I mean, I love Asian horror, so I shouldn't be too disappointed. But yeah, so I am gonna do a review on this for sure, just because I tried to look up some stuff on YouTube, and I can't find any reviews of this thing, like none. So yeah, I do want to review this. So yeah, so look for that. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Plan on doing an update for stuff every once a month, probably. Not too long, because I've kind of limited my spending on movies down to stuff that I just really, really want to see. And just I'm trying to stick to quality now, because my collection's getting kind of out of hand. So yeah, I'm more about quality at this point. So all right, guys, thanks.